The first half of the hurricane was like if you're playing a varsity basketball game, senior night basketball game, and you got maybe 3 kids that are not stars. Well, the second half of this hurricane, they put in the varsity athletes. The second half of the hurricane, everything had already been damaged and already weak spots have developed in buildings, and the gusts were being over 200-mile-an-hour gusts that were coming through here. And I watched my barn go to the ground, watched half my house come apart. Wondered what we were going to do.
Numerous structures destroyed, debris filling the air.
As a mayor, I felt like my responsibility was to be here in the town. Probably 60% of our people left town, 40% stayed back because they thought that they had no place to go or didn't have the money to go to another location.
The hotel kind of turned into a free-for-all where any room you'd like is open. They opened the kitchen, the drinks, anything people would like. Everybody was just in it together.
My husband had a letter from the city that he was allowed back in because it was under National Guard. Myself and the younger 2 kids stayed behind, and my husband went back with my son, and we had walkie-talkies ready to go because we knew that there was no cell phone service, no electricity, no power. So I knew time-wise that they would have made it into town in about 3 hours from San Antonio. But I didn't hear from them for like 6 hours, and that was gut-wrenching.
Told all our friends that, we're probably in family, that we'll probably lose telephone at some point in the night, and don't worry about us. That didn't help much telling them that.
When we got ready to buckle down, I drove through town, took pictures of waves and stuff of that nature, and we moved into the EOC Command Center and buckled down for the night, and we started riding it out.
I got one text from a neighbor who pretty much saw my house, and all she said was, "Oh, Nichole, I'm so sorry."
Probably 40% or 50% of our homes were destroyed in some way or another. We figured that probably 60-70% had some damage to them that going to take major repairs.
I am a therapeutic optometrist and owner of 2020 Optical ROCKPORT Eye Associates on Magnolia. I would have been practicing 17 and a half years before Harvey hit, and it's a big impact in our community. And lots of struggles and trying to keep the practice open and see patients and make sure that everybody's taken care of and okay. And then after Harvey, still working really hard, pulling about 11-hour work days to get everything done and taken care of.
The week or so, or 10 days after the storm are some of the best days I've had in a long time because there was nothing to do. You had a big worry about how you're going to take care of it, but at that point in time, you're thinking, okay, I've paid my insurance, I've got my insurance, this will all work out well, and these guys are going to take care of you and make you whole. That obviously didn't happen, and it still hasn't happened here. I'm still have not been reimbursed for the hotel.
Things that are shocking to us 2 years out is that we're fighting tooth and nail on things that I don't think we should be fighting on. That's what insurance is for. It's not that we didn't have insurance. we have insurance.
I'm owed $1.4 million on the repairs of this building, and I owe that to the contractors. And there's not a day in your life that you don't think about it multiple times, wake up in the middle of the night and think about it. It's a life-changing event.
I think we're on our 9th TWIA rep. So we've changed representatives over and over again, and each time you have more paperwork to submit, more questions to be answered, and it gets exhausting. It wears you down.
Now, he had the Lloyd's of London insurance company. What we found out after he started explaining to us and after we sat with TDI and everybody talking about the problems we were having with these groups, he mentioned he had Lloyd's of London. He said, well, that's regulated different than all the other insurance in Texas. So we found out that we were not so helpful with him as much as we could be with the others. And that's just floored my mind. And all these insurance problems just don't fall on TWIA's lap. They fall on every insurance company's lap. This facility right here, we had a groundbreaking ceremony out here where they presented them with over $3 or $4 million to help rebuild this place. They started tearing it apart and the mold and everything was so bad they couldn't afford to rebuild it. So now that's going to all be repossessed by George Bush and them up at the GLO, or something's going to have to with GLO. Then it'll turn over to the city of Rockport and they'll go find somebody to come in here and maybe build the apartments back. But you can't rebuild those now. They've been sitting here 2 years, they're ruined. The positive things about it is we're getting there. The negative things about it is sometimes we have to back up and start over again. And that's the hard part.
It's the bigger claims, like the hotels, the condominiums, and if you drive around town, you'll see a lot of them still are not back up 2 years out. What the impact of that was it wiped out the local economy from where it was. You know, my restaurant and store numbers have been just pathetic compared to what they were prior to, because there's not enough beds to put the heads in to come down here and stay and do things. A couple of people had private insurance and they did have some of the same issues with the hotels.
We didn't get sheetrock on until December of 18. We're currently, August the 12th? We moved in our house June 1st, June 2nd, June 3rd, we moved in at that time. So we've been in our house a little over 8.5 weeks now.
I just hope nobody ever goes through this again, most of all us. I don't think this community could take 2 of these in any short span of time.
I love this place. And there'll be a short time now right off of the sunset, and hopefully everything will be somewhat better. That's what I'm hopeful. I'm sure there's a lot of people who could have done it better than what I'm doing right now. I'm sure there is. And I know there's a lot in this community that feel like they could. My last Oyster Fest this year. See the improvements. See those 2 things finished? They'll be it. That will be back to norm. Harvey didn't win.